Yo, what's up? Today I'm talking about the 3 reasons why ghosting women and going no contact benefits you. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, 3 reasons why ghosting women and going no contact benefits you. If you don't want to watch the whole video, I'm going to just cut to the chase and tell you the 3 reasons right now. 3 reasons: self-esteem, creates sexual tension, and builds a sense of abundance. All right, if you want to stick around, I'll go into the details about each one of those 3. And again, the 3 are: it builds self-esteem, creates sexual tension, and builds a sense of abundance. All right, I was inspired to do this video by Richard Cooper from Entrepreneurs in Cars. So Richard Cooper keeps talking about the woman that you ultimately want to date and be with should have burning desire for you. And what's interesting is how true that is, because I've gone on dates with 8s and 9s many times, right? And I just never, many times I've felt like they don't have that burning desire. Versus, I've gone on dates with 6s and 7s, and their burning desire has been through the roof for me. And I have had women in their 8s and 9s that have had burning desire for me as well, a lot less times. So sometimes I'm torn with, like, I'm not super attracted to this particular woman who, let's say, is a 6 or 7, which I am attracted to 6s and 7s. But I mean, just in terms of attraction alone, like, obviously 8s and 9s are more attractive. But the 8s and 9s, what happens is that when they don't have the burning desire, my attraction to them drops. So basically now they become, instead of an 8 and 9, they become a 6 and 7, because they're not reciprocating, they're not seem to be that interested in me. And I'll get into the whole ghosting and no contact thing. Versus the 6 and 7s, they are reliable, they're getting back to me, they want to see me, they're really into me. And even though they might be a 6 and 7, now they've moved up to like an 8 or 9 in terms of how I see them holistically, right? So this has been my experience, that the more attractive the woman, I get it. They have more options. They're getting flooded with men all over them, simping and texting them and messaging them and complimenting them and just feeding their obsession with attention, right? So when an attractive woman starts to pull away from you, her texting is not as consistent. She maybe takes days to get back to you, and she's just ultimately not that into you, right? So why I created this video, and I'll talk about the 3 benefits, is because when you're dealing with that, that's where ghosting and no contact, you have to excuse me. I was sick for the last 4 days, and I was so anxious to do these videos, and I have just a few symptoms still left. So you'll have to excuse me if I pause a little bit, because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow me to be in perfect health to do these videos when I'm like in the mood. All right. So when she starts to pull away, this is what I do. And I'll go through the 3 benefits. What I do is sometimes I ghost them, right? So for example, I ask a question to this woman, and she's, let's say, a 7. She's 7, 8, or 9, right? I ask her a question in a text, and she takes like 2 days to respond. Oh, sorry, I was busy. Ghosted. Heck with it. One thing I do, I ghost them. No contact and ghosting is different in that ghosting is like a permanent thing. No contact, you're just backing off. That's how I would describe the two. So I will ghost not expecting them to ever respond to me again. So they take 2 days to get back to me to answer my simple question, and I ghost. Boom. I don't care if I ever, never hear from them again. Almost guarantee she's going to follow up with a second text. Could be a week later, could be longer. Go, hey, how are you? Then I'll re engage, right? No contact, no contact, it's the same thing, except sometimes I just get annoyed. So she's consistent for a little while, and then she's just not really showing genuine burning desire, genuine interest, and she takes a while to get back to me. Then I'll just pull away for a day, 2 days, whatever, and then might hit her up again 3 days later, and I become inconsistent. So I'll tell you the benefits of why ghosting and no contact benefits you when you're dealing with somebody who genuinely is not that into you and doesn't have the burning desire. So number one, self-esteem. You need to respect yourself, and simps don't do that. I mean, I was guilty of that in the past, and they have no self-respect. They keep chasing these women thinking they have a chance. It's just like dudes that have all these female friends. Like at the end of the day, most dudes, they just want to sleep with that female friend, and they have no self-respect. So if you have enough self-respect, you'll be like, wait a minute, I don't need somebody around me that's a female that's just taking advantage of me or sees me as an ATM machine or just genuinely not interested in me. So self-esteem is number one reason why ghosting and no contact can benefit you. Number two, it creates sexual tension. And this might sound contrary and like, what? Why that creates sexual tension is because women want men they can't have at the end of the day, or that they have to fight for, they're jealous of, they have to compete for. So when you start removing yourself, even completely, they'll be like, what the fuck? Like, again, guys, very few men do that because they're desperate. And you don't want to, this is going to go into my third point. You don't want to ever be desperate with women, even if you have nothing, no pool, no options. You need to have this perception that you're not desperate. It's just like you're out of work, right? You have no job, but you're looking for a job. What you don't want to do is tell your future employer, hey, the job that you're interviewing for, like, I'm out of work and I need a job right now. No, no, no. You need to pretend that you're not desperate when really you are, right? So that's the same thing, is that you need to, why it benefits you, and it creates sexual tension because she's like, oh wow, this guy's not chasing me, so he must have options, therefore I'm jealous. And so that's the benefit. And the last one is that you really need to do it for your own self control. And why that's important is because you like I said, you don't want to be desperate, you don't want to come across as needy, and you want to make sure that when you're in this situation and you're ghosting and you're no contact, that you have this sense of abundance, that you tell yourself, wait a minute, I have a lot of options, even though maybe you don't. You keep telling yourself, like a law of attraction, I will attract wealth, I will attract wealth, I will attract wealth. So just the same thing, I will attract women, I have an abundance mindset. And that's why ghosting and going no contact will benefit you, those three things that I mentioned to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, have a great week.